Okay. Mhm. David Hernandez,
Here.
Awa,
Here.
Mason,
Here.
Leslie, Haas,
Here.
Alawanami,
Here.
Kendall,
Here.
Manuel, Murbe, Shannon,
Here.
David Stevens, Daniel,
Here.
Edmund Gayton,
Present.
Carmen Good, Jared,
Here.
Nicolette, Riley, Jessica,
Here.
Amaya,
Present.
James, Jocelyn.
Here.
Okay.
Thanks, Asia. Could I go ahead and get approval of the minutes, please? Edmund?
Hey, just before we start, do we even have quorum to actually approve the minutes?
Good observation. Asia, what are the numbers tonight?
1 second.
Take your time.
We have 14 senators present out of 23, I believe. So I can recount just to be sure, but yeah.
That's not 2/3. Once again. Oh. I mean, we have like 7 pieces of legislation this week, and it's the last week to present them. I have no words at this point.
Ali, Austin has a point.
Go ahead.
Everyone. So I know like a handful of y'all like know others who are in SGA who are not here. If you could send them a message. I'm about to do the exact same. Push them to be here. It is their responsibility. The semester isn't over, the session isn't over. So if we could maybe Ali take a few-minute recess of a meeting that hasn't even started yet. Try and get those people here.
We'll do, could someone make a motion to have a recess, please?
Motion to have recess until we meet quorum.
A second.
Second.
All right. I will let you all know whenever we reconvene. As for right now, we will adjourn this meeting temporarily at 7:11 p.m. Just to ensure that we have quorum. All right, see y'all back on here shortly. I meant recess. My apologies. Basically, that just means like stay on the call. We're just not going to continue with the meeting. Austin, I'm ready when you are. I believe we have 17 present now out of 23.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
All right. So back to our regular scheduled meeting. Could someone please make a motion to approve the minutes from last week?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. And then to amend the agenda, there are two pieces of legislation that are being brought up. Additionally, one by Daniel and another one by Edmund and Milan, I believe. Could we get an amendment to the agenda to be approved, to improve the agenda, please?
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
Okay, thank you. And moving right along into old business, we have the student group allocations piece. Milan, if you'd like to talk about that, share your screen, or we can move straight to a vote, however Senate deems.
Hello, Senate. We're bringing to question the student group allocations legislation. This legislation has received a favorable review from the Governing Documents Review Committee, and they have made the necessary changes to the standard operating procedures to implement this legislation. If a senator would be willing to yield their time to Attorney General Upchurch.
I yield my time.
I think that Peyton was going to talk about the committee's review of the ledge.
Peyton is not here as of right now.
Or Kaylee.
Kaylee, if you'd like to.
Yeah, give me 1 minute.
Peyton's on the call. She just said her audio is not working.
Okay, well, while we figured that out, basically, to reiterate, this ledge was introduced 2 weeks ago. It was suspended for second reading last week due to quorum. Basically, what the legislation would do is create a yearly allocations process, which would allow for student groups to apply for allocations in March and then have access to those funds beginning 3 weeks prior to the start of the academic fall semester and through the spring semester. 70% of the allocations total budget would be allocated through the yearly cycle. And in addition, this would create a 30% as needed budget, which would allow student groups to apply for funding on an as needed rolling basis. With the remaining 30%, this ledge has been reviewed by governing docs and finance. That's all I got for presentation. I would look favorably upon a motion to move into Q&A or discussion or to move to a vote.
At this time, a senator could make a motion. Edmund?
Motion to move from previous question.
Second.
Thanks, Manny.
I'm sorry, where are we at? I got lost.
Motion to move to previous question. So I think we're waiting on a voting form.
There you go.
Thanks, Jesse. At this time, if all senators could go ahead and vote on this piece. Just waiting on 4 more. Just 2 more senators.
All right, I'm gonna read the names, just make it easier. Manuel, Mason, Kendall, Haas, Daniel, Nicolette, Edmund, Shannon, Carmen, Leslie, Awa, James, Amaya, and Jocelyn. So if you're the other two, please vote now. Still waiting on 2 more senators. Not trying to rush y'all, but we do have quite a few pieces to get through today. So just get it done as quickly as you can, please. 1 more senator, please. All righty, in a vote of 16 to 0 to 0, the piece passes.
Thank you, Jesse, and thank you, Milan, and the rest of the Governing Docs Committee. Moving into the next piece, I believe it is the FB 9801 piece that Edmund had. Edmund, if you'd like to share your screen or go over that piece.
Yeah, give me 1 second to pull it up. Austin, can you give me the ability to share my screen?
Sorry about that.
All right, cool. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. So let me try my camera real quick so y'all can see me. All right, cool. So just to talk about it, we're gonna entertain a motion to view as read, just so I can like actually talk about the legislation rather than just reading it all the way through, just so I can actually like hit on what it is in its entirety.
Motion to view as read.
Second that motion.
All right, go ahead.
All right, cool. So thank y'all. So basically what this is as y'all know, there is the banners initiative that the EDI committee has started. First and foremost, shout out to Irving for the idea of just for the Black History Month banner on possibly getting put out there. But basically what this would do is there's a fee that goes with hanging the banner. So every time they go up and come down, it's $35 each time. So $70 total for a banner. So basically this is just to have money pre-allocated. So it automatically isn't in the budget and it's just set aside so the committee can just go ahead and put up banners and take them down without any issues. And it won't affect like the budget because it would never technically be like in the budget because it's like already allocated towards this. We just wanted to do this just to make sure that this can be something that is continued every year from now on, because this is a very important initiative for myself. I know that others have really enjoyed it, so I just want to make sure that we can keep it going. So that's all that this piece of legislation is doing.
Thanks. And then if someone can entertain a motion to go into Q&A or discussion or voting, please.
Motion to go into Q&A.
All right. Here, 5 minutes. Go ahead. 5 minutes starts now. So if anyone has any questions, just drop X in the chat and I will call on you.
I do just want to clarify too, just in case some people are wondering what is a finance bill. The finance bill is basically just, it's a type of like government bill, Senate resolution. It's just stating that this is something that has to do with finance and it's changing the budget. It's just, that's all it is. It's not like really changing anything else. It's just a classification. So when you're reading it, you know exactly what it's doing.
Any questions?
If we don't have any questions, I'd like to make a motion to move into voting.
Second.
Second.
Any dissent on that? All right, Jesse sent the link out. If y'all can go ahead and vote on this piece. I can see your screen, Edmund.
Oh, ha, LOL. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alrighty, if you're the one senator that hopped on making 17, can you please let Asia know? But in a vote of 17-0 to 0, piece passes.
Thanks, Jesse, and thank you, Edmund. Asia, if you could verify that real quick with myself. My apologies, not trying to delay the meeting, just double checking to see who the extra vote was on this one.
Do you want me to just message you or tell you right now?
Either one's fine.
It was Taylor. So
Okay. Thank you for checking. All right. Thank you, Edmund. And moving into your next piece, which is the governing bill.
All right, cool. So me again. Let me pull this up. Share screen. All right, cool. Everyone can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
All right, cool. So looks like the other one. Can I get a motion to view as read, just so I can just discuss the legislation as a whole?
Motion to view as read.
Second.
All right, so cool. So this one is essentially changing some of the changing the EDI committee, well, DIE committee as it's formerly known. The first thing, as it states right here, is changing the name to the Social Justice, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee. So the reason we did that is just we, as a committee, felt like social justice encompasses a lot more of what the committee does and what the committee should be striving to do. In addition, it's just stating that the governing docs committee will work with the Social Justice, Diversity, Inclusion Committee to just restructure some of the responsibilities and rules and to tighten up some of the language, because in the governing docs review committee today, when we went over the committee, some of the language was very vague and confusing. So it's just tightening up some of those things, making sure that the committee is, the wording of it and the parameters are very effective for the committee to actually do what it needs to do, and also making sure that the committee can operate within SGA, such as like senator workshops and stuff like that. So that's the basis of this legislation. And similar to the other one, it's a GB governing bill because it's just changing the SOPs. But yeah, but with that, I'll entertain a motion to Q&A discussion or voting, preferably Q&A first.
If you're done explaining the piece, then we just move into Q&A. So 5 minutes starts now.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse. So if anyone has any questions, just drop an X in the chat and I'll call on you.
Hey, Edmund, can you scroll down a little bit?
Yeah. How far you want me to scroll down?
Just so like the top, like I can read most of it. Yeah, like right there is fine.
All right.
Just to make sure the senators understand what they're voting on, if you want Edmund to go more in depth on the piece, he could, just so we all know we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a motion to move into voting?
Yeah, if you want to, Hutch, go ahead and make a formal motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to move into voting.
Is there a second on that?
Second.
All right, Jesse just dropped the link once again. So senators, go ahead and go vote. Also, just a side note, in the meantime, I know we're all sitting somewhere, and if you have the possibility of turning your cameras on, that'd be great. We are wrapping up, and seeing everyone's faces would be really nice as we're nearing the end, y'all. Thank you, Paige. Thanks, Taylor.
Alrighty, we're waiting on one person, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the names. Haas, Mason, James, Taylor, Manuel, Kendall, David, Edmund, Nicolette, Daniel, Jocelyn, Awa, Amaya, Shannon, and Leslie.
Thanks, Jesse. So if your name was not read, please make sure you go ahead and vote. Thanks, Mason.
I don't know if this individual has maybe stepped away from their computer or something of this sort, but I have direct messaged them. So if you just want to move on to the next piece, and I'll give them a few more minutes just to save time, and I'll just announce it when they vote, if that's okay with everyone.
Is that okay with everyone? I see some nods, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next piece, which is Awa's piece. Quick question. I know we both have to break fast very shortly. How do you want to go about this?
If you want to move to the, if you want me, I can start facilitating the next piece if you would like, Ali, since, and we can come back. Just so I want you guys to be able to celebrate in the correct way.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I break fast in 6 minutes. Haven't eaten all day. Just letting y'all know. I ate around like 5 a.m. and after that, I've not eaten all day because I've been fasting. So Jesse's gonna go ahead and take over for like the next like 20 to 30 minutes. I'll hop on as fast as I can. My video is gonna be off, but I'll keep my audio on so I can pay attention. Thanks, y'all.
Since that's the last piece of old business, is there any new business? And then we'll come back to the Ramadan piece.
Yeah, there's two pieces, Jesse.
Will somebody make a motion to bring their piece to the floor?
Yeah, motion to move. We'll bring my two pieces of legislation to the floor.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, I'm in share your screen. Take it away.
All right, Milan, what one do you want to start with?
Let's begin with the legislative classifications.
All right, cool. I was saying the same thing.
What Edmund is about to present to the screen is the Legislation Classifications Act. This piece of, I would look favorably upon a motion to view this legislation as read.
Motion to view as read.
Second the motion.
Thank you. This legislation will create classifications for legislation. Edmund, if you want to scroll to the whereas. This legislation will create classifications for legislation to denote it in varying different formats to indicate what organizational effort the legislation is creating. It will be classified under bill or resolutions as we already use, but then it can be further classified as government bill, finance bill, so on and so forth. In the enacted section, if you scroll down a little bit more, you will see the verbatim text that this legislation will implement into the standard operating procedures. Unless Senator Gayen has anything farther, we can move into Q&A.
No, I think you hit everything perfectly. Just retweet whatever Milan just said.
Alrighty, we'll have 5 minutes of question and answer starting now.
If there is no Q&A, Senator Gayen and I would look favorably upon a motion to table this legislation until next meeting.
Motion to table until next meeting.
Second.
Is there a second? Awesome, the piece is tabled. If you want to bring up the next piece, Edmund.
All right, sounds good. Let me stop sharing my screen so I can pull this next one. All right, cool. So I could present this one, Milan, if you want. So before I start, I would look favorably upon a motion to view as read.
Motion to view as read.
Second.
All right, cool. So yeah, currently, as you all see, as I'm about to scroll down, you'll see that this legislation is not yet complete. There's still missing parts. What this is essentially just the capstone of what the 98 session has done. So you'll see each section will have, so the student affairs will have basically write out what they did in their whereas clause and so on and so forth for every single position. And then the enacted section, we are just thanking different or groups. We're thanking the advisors, PD, and all these other organizations and people who have helped us throughout this session. And then upon passage of this legislation, it basically will end the 98th session and bring in the 99th session of SGA. Myself and Milan do ask that every senator sign on as a sponsor and every member of, well, every non-senator sign on as a signatory for this. So this is going to basically be a piece of history in a sense for SGA, and we would love for all of you to be a part of it. So years from now, everyone will be able to see your name attached to this and see all the accomplishments that we were able to do. Milan, is there anything that you would like to add to that?
Just to reiterate one more point here, the enacted section of this legislation is where you can add thank you or notes of gratitude for different individuals who may have been influential or helpful to the varying projects and initiatives that you may have done. If something that you did doesn't fall under one of the pre-created, enacted, or whereas clauses, please feel free to make your own. Like Edmund said, this is kind of a living, breathing piece of history. And the only way that, this legislation will look good upon passage is if all of us come together and work on it. Upon passage, basically the student body president will have to forward this legislation to all of the different entities that are on the enacted section. So it'd be a great way to end the school year and show our gratitude. Can you scroll all the way to the very bottom, Edmund? Soon at the very bottom of this legislation, there will be space for everyone to add in their electronic signature and their title. So be looking out for that and have that electronic signature dropped in there. If you need any help making that one or need any resources, you can reference the email that I sent to the 98th session yesterday, or you can reach out to Edmund or I directly for help. But we really appreciate your support on this.
Awesome. The next thing is we'll go into 5 minutes of question and answer unless there's a motion for it to be taken.
Motion to table until next week.
Second.
Second.
Awesome. The piece will be tabled until the next meeting. As regards to the GB 9801, the DEI package, I'm still waiting on this individual to vote, so I will keep waiting on that. If there's no more new business, we'll move on with the meeting. Daniel?
Yeah, I've been speaking to Taylor Urban about their piece of legislation. She co-authored it with Nicolette Boykins, and she said she would be willing to present tonight if she's here and able to do so.
I'm here. Yeah, if y'all want to go ahead and ask if you want to give them sharing access, whoever's going to present, and we can present this new piece.
Hey, Justin.
Before we start, Edmund, yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, I see that Paige had her hand raised. So I know she needed to say anything.
Yeah, Paige, go for it.
Yeah, so Awa and I also had new business. I'm not sure if it was read last week I was having tech issues. But Awa said that she's in the car headed home. So I just wanted to share my screen and see if any other senator would be willing to read it on her behalf.
If there's another senator that would like to present it, please feel free to do so. Or we can wait till Awa gets back. I know most of the ledge has went through the legislative committee. So if Daniel, you would like to read it, you can, or if one of you would like to read it. We can definitely do that. I guess
Sure.
Taylor already has her screen up after this piece, if that's okay. Awesome. Go ahead, Taylor.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how to do this, so I'm gonna need some help getting through this.
Yeah, if
I
you
see
don't
the
mind,
thing.
everybody, I'll help her present this. All right, Taylor. So essentially, from what I've read, this is going to, if you could scroll down since you're sharing the screen. This is addressing grief, and in particular, we're trying to look at it from more of an equitable standpoint, and we're going to be trying to give the same treatment as UNCG gives one of their employees or associates, as they would treat like students who have experienced that same kind of loss. And Taylor, if you wanted to read through the whereas statements on it, or if we can also entertain a motion to go into Q&A just so we can go ahead and kind of give a brief synopsis over it, however you would like to proceed.
I guess we can just go ahead and go into Q&A because this is all that it is. It's very short, so it'll take longer for me to read it than for other people to read it. So
I make a motion to go into a period of Q&A.
Is there a second? Alrighty, comments, question and answer, start now. If someone could yield their time to Austin.
Yield my time to Austin.
This is more of a statement, but I guess I'll phrase it as a question. Would y'all be willing to remove in like the section 1 and the enacted / resolved part, remove bill and enacted? It would be more of like a amendment, but I think we'll just skip through discussion.
May I respond just for a point of clarity?
If it pertains, yeah.
Yeah. So just to be clear, we're looking at the same thing here, Austin. We are looking to remove this portion here, and may it be a resolution, and then the second part we were looking to do, you said remove the enacted, or are we looking to keep as resolved?
Remove the enacted part since it would be a resolution resolving it.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just for clarification so that I can put it in the voting form, can you scroll back up to the top for the title, please? And also the piece will be SB 9815 for the number.
you said 15, Jesse.
Yes, ma'am. If you all don't have any questions, feel free to like motion to table or motion to move into discussion or any of the things if you don't have any questions.
Motion to table until next week.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any dissent? Alrighty, seeing none, the case is tabled. Paige, are you presenting the Ramadan legislation for AWA?
Can I present it? I don't think I can, but I can share my screen for somebody else to read it. That's possible.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
Daniel,
Yeah.
if you want to read it, or if there's another senator that would like to take that up.
Yeah, I can read the piece and present. Okay. This is a resolution to provide meals for the UNC Greensboro students during Ramadan, authored by Awan Bai and Paige Gammon. If you can scroll down a little bit, go to the first whereas. All right. Oop. There you go. Section 1, the Student Senate of UNC Greensboro's Student Government Association adopts the following resolution. Whereas prior to COVID-19, UNC Greensboro Fountain View did not provide Muslim students with meals for, I don't want to mispronounce that for fear of being offending someone. Students were forced to look for dining options outside of UNC Greensboro. And whereas Muslim students' accessibility to dining options on campus for Ramadan were already limited prior to the school year due to the active pandemic, during Ramadan, a hot meal is a necessity, which was not previously provided through UNCG, and Muslim students rely on UNCG dining hours during Ramadan in order to break their fast. And whereas Fountain View is now providing breakfast and dinner meals for students through sign-up options via the Spartan Card office, breakfast meals will include egg and cheese biscuits, yogurt, fruit, oatmeal, granola bars, and turkey sausage biscuits. Dinner meals will include protein, rice, vegetables, fruit, and water. Students will receive a to-go container, but must return the container every meal throughout Ramadan. And whereas Ramadan annual meals are necessary because it provides Muslim students their nutritional meals during iftar, meals provided outside of UNC Greensboro can be costly and may not provide the expected nutritional value. And resolved, upon passage of this resolution, the Student Senate of the University of North Carolina, Greensboro will ensure that Fountain View Dining Hall will provide adequate meals for Muslim students during Ramadan annually. This will help to successfully fulfill Muslim students' needs of nutritional options during iftar. Section 2, this act shall be effective upon enrollment.
Awesome. Daniel, if you don't have anything to explain, if you would just yield your time to question and answer.
Yep, I yield my time to question and answer.
Awesome. 5 minutes to question and answer. Start. Daniel.
Yeah, sorry, trying to keep with the preferred way. I know I just presented it, but I do have a question for the authors here. Paige, if we scroll down to where it was highlighted saying protein, do you find it important to define that as like a halal protein? Because I know protein could be considered anything.
So that's a great question. Awa was definitely more involved when it came to like the meal options due to her actually being Muslim. I'm not sure if she's available to, I know she's on the call, but she's on the road, so I don't know if how her connection is. But I definitely think that may be a question for her. I'm not sure how the protein is in the in your actual meals and how like it's supposed to be broke down. But if anybody else might know the answer, feel free to answer. And if not, I'll just reach out to Awa and I'll get back to you and let everybody know.
I'd like to make a motion to table this piece just so Awa can come and explain stuff.
Oh, sorry. I can explain now. Sorry. I just parked.
Go for it if you're available.
Oh, yeah. What was the question?
If I might repeat my question.
Go for it.
Okay. In the third whereas clause near the bottom, it states dinner meals will include protein. Since this is for Ramadan, I'm just trying to make sure that that's going to be a halal protein for you all. I
Oh,
don't know if that was meant to be explicitly defined there, or I'm not as familiar with this as others may be.
oh yeah. The CAF, we had worked with the CAF to provide halal meals. So I think that the protein within it is gonna be just beef and chicken probably, but I'm gonna correct that to make it to specify that as well. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
We have 2 more minutes remaining on the time.
I'd like to make a motion to move into discussion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any dissent? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving to 5 minutes of the session. Pause.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I really like this piece, and I appreciate y'all for writing it and taking the time. There's a lot of students I know that struggle with this and not having the proper nutrition and with the fountain not providing it. So I just wanted to reiterate and say I appreciate you guys, you all for providing this piece.
Thank you. I appreciate that as well.
Did anybody else have anything else in the discussion? If not, can somebody yield their time to me so I can move out of discussion?
Yield my time to Paige.
Thank you. I moved to, I think somebody had already tried to make a prior move to table it, so move to table it till next week.
Technically, because you're not a senator, you can't move to table it. But if someone else, you can strongly favor it. But if someone else wants to, you totally can.
Motion to table. Sorry.
Second that
Second.
motion.
Awesome. The piece is tabled. Is there any other pieces of new business? Alrighty, just to kind of backtrack just a little bit, on GB 9801 in a vote of 17, excuse me. Yeah, in a vote of 17 to 0, the piece passes. So congrats, Edmund. And if there's no more new business, we'll move on. Austin, if you could just give me power to share my screen, please.
There you go.
Alrighty, going into reports. Austin, take it away.
Thank you. So what have I been up to? Today I'll jump around a little bit in the order, but today I had the final Board of Trustees meeting of my tenure here. So they awarded me with a Minerva apple. I thought it was really cool, and I just wanted to share it with you. I think that's like really, I saw them before and I was like, that looks so cool. And I was like, they actually get me one. So I was very happy to receive that. But I officially applied to grad school. I didn't put a date because I forgot what day, but I think it was over the weekend. Did provost interviews on Monday. That was something like 9 hours of interviewing, very long, but very productive. Also have that coming up this Thursday, and then a finishing meeting for that. So Thursday is going to be a super long day, like over 12 hours of interviewing, but it's worth it. Trying to get the best provost we can. So very exciting. But if you wouldn't mind skipping along, Jesse. So what is coming up? Waiting to hear back from grad school. Probably won't hear for a while. Did preparing for the provost search, as I just mentioned, and then there's a follow-up meeting to just like discuss. I guess like we're discussing the candidates in general, and selecting the finalists, preparing for the transition. So I'll be filling out these new documents that Edmund and Milan put together. Very good work by y'all. Definitely appreciate it. I think I want to say this before I finish up. Everybody who came together, wrote legislation the past few weeks, or have been working on this all semester. Good job to y'all for getting it done. It's hard. I've wrote a handful of pieces of legislation. It's not an easy process, but I'm very proud of y'all for getting together, figuring out. And I see a lot of pieces of legislation that I worked on with others. So like kudos to y'all for doing it during COVID. But yeah, graduating in a few weeks, and there's only 7 days left of the 98 session. So that's why I'm falling into the bushes and I'm getting out of here. But yeah, thank you all for a very productive meeting. If we could have a similar attendance, if not better, next week, that would be wonderful. But thank you so much, y'all, and I'll let y'all get back to it.
Take it away, Peyton.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for my technical difficulties earlier. It's been a long week and it's only Tuesday. So there are my virtual office hours. Just email me if you need the Zoom link, need anything else. Feel free to also text or email me at any time. So I've just been up to wrapping up for the semester, thank goodness, applying for some scholarships, planning our final conduct team meeting on Monday, and then also planning our summer conduct team training. All right, so coming up, I have an executive council meeting, our final governing docs committee meeting next week. Major shout out to Kaylee for all of her hard work and for being so patient with me today. I really appreciate you, Kaylee. Meetings with Austin, Ali, and Meredith as needed. Conduct team meeting, like I said, on Monday morning. And then normally I have my quote of the week, but this week I just wanted to hold some space to honor Daunte Wright's life. I know that the incident was horrifying to me, as it is with every similar incident. And I just want to encourage you all to maybe take a look at the resources I've included on the screen if you have the mental space for that. But I encourage you all to keep using your voices, keep speaking up for what's right. We have a power to make a change, so let's do it.
Awesome. I don't think Ali is back yet, so I will read his. So there's Ollie's office hours, some things that he's been up to, governing docs committee meeting, meetings with the executive council, a one-on-one with Kaylee, my awesome roommate, senator one-on-ones, / working with Asia to schedule the rest of them. So if you haven't had a senator one-on-one with Ali, please make sure that you do that. Talking with Edmund about legislation / wrapping it all up. Applications for the 99th session, exec and leg positions. If you're a senator currently, He encourages you to please apply because you do have that knowledge and you've been working really well in the 98th session. So continue that in the 99th if you're going to be a senator. And he also has ASG this weekend. So what's up next for him? And more governing doc meetings, finishing senator one-on-ones, the roundtable, meeting with Kaylee and Dr. Akins, continuing to over leadership challenge, which I know he's going to kill. Working with the director of the EUC for inclusive spaces and banners, which he, I think, talked about last meeting. Working on his internships and shadowing, so that's something that's really important to him, as well as SGA executive council meetings, working on COVID-related issues, and meeting with Austin and Peyton as needed. Feel free to contact him if you need him. So now we'll move into Senator Forum. Any senator may speak up to 2 minutes at this time. Pause.
Hey, just like Ali was saying, the applications for exec and ledge board is up. We'd highly encourage everyone to just apply, and we want to see just the collaborative ideas and everyone. I know everyone has good ideas just from our meetings, these past meetings, all the ledge we've been passing. So please apply. That ends tomorrow, and I hope to see some names up there.
Anything else for Senator Forum? Final call. All right, now we move into announcements. If anyone would like to talk, please do so. Alrighty, I'm not seeing anything else. So Aisha, if you'll please do the adjournment roll call, and then we will be heading out for the night. Thank you guys for such a productive night.
All good.
Alrighty, thank you all. Have a great night. Thank you so much for passing all these pieces.